Hello and welcome. In this video, which is another within the series of learning the locations within Star Citizen, we're going to be looking at Lorville. So Lorville is the capital of Hurston and it is the corporate headquarters for the eponymous weapon manufacturer. Lorville is a company town with a population predominantly comprised of Hurston Dynamics employees and the security forces that supervise their labours. So what you're going to notice when you go into Lorville is there are two very different dynamics. There is the business district and then there is the kind of workers district. And you'll see the difference in both of those. It's a very industrial setting with a very affluent business district area. And you can kind of see the difference between the two areas. Now, of all of the locations, this is one of the hardest to actually navigate. And so I really want you to understand that most of the areas that you're going to visit within this video and yourself are purely there for perception, just to make it perceived that the area is bigger than it actually is. So in terms of what you can do and where you can go, it's not that bad, but it does take a little bit of getting used to. So the first thing you're going to do, as always, is wake up within your bed and you're going to see you're in kind of this industrial style room. It's more like a working quarters rather than a hotel like in some of the other places. So when you come outside, what you're going to notice is there's going to be two floors. You're either going to be on the top or the bottom floor, depending. And depending on where you are, all you can do is walk around in a circle. That's it. So from down here, if you come out of one of these doors, or if you go upstairs and come out of one of the other doors, what you're going to want to do regardless is you're going to want to go upstairs. So from here, you're looking for the exit. The exit is at one end. It's a white sign that says exit. This is your elevator. Again, there is a lot of stuff here to look at, but there's nowhere else to actually go. So I don't want you to get confused or overwhelmed or worried about anything. This is very simply just a series of rooms. I believe it's going to be 12 rooms, 6 down, 6 up. So just remember, wherever you are, come upstairs and then come to this elevator. Now, there are different floors. We are on floor 4. All of the floors are exactly the same. So it doesn't matter where you are. We just want to get down to the lobby. So we're going to do that first. I'll call the elevator. Just going to wait for it. And we're going to go down to the ground floor. So as you can see, there's 6 different floors, but they're all the same. Once we are on the ground floor. Okay. Slow elevator today for some reason. Okay. Once we are on the ground floor. Again, all of this you can ignore. We're going to go left. It's the only way to go. You can pay your fines and citations here. There's also a parcel pick up and drop off, which you might have to use later. But we're going to come around this corner, and this now is us outside what is known as L19 Residence. Affordable living for the working professional. Okay, so this is the residence buildings. It is the L19, and that is within here. Okay, so now we've come out of here. You'll come down here. I'm just going to take a moment to kind of show you this so you can get your bearings. As you can see, very, very industrial in its settings. There are 3 main areas. There's actually 4 areas, but we're not going to worry too much about those. I'm going to focus on the 3 of them. So this is going to be the main kind of city centre, if you like. We have the Spaceport. You can see the Spaceport because it has these signs. And this is the Tessa Spaceport signs. You can kind of see them in the air. They go all around in a square. Makes it very, very easy to be able to locate this spaceport from the sky. Over in the distance there, you can see the business district. That huge big building over in the background there. And then you've got this kind of working area. And where my cyclone is, that is the perimeter gate. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But for now, let's come into here. So the only thing we can do now is come through here. And again, it's going to confuse you. It's meant to. It feels very gritty. You're like, what way do I go? Doesn't matter. it ends up taking you to this same place. So if we come around here in a circle, we're going to go in one big circle right now. Okay, and if I do that, it's going to take me back, all the way back to where I just was. Okay, so up here, around here, and I'm back to where I started. So it's just a circle. Doesn't matter if you go left or if you go right, it's going to take you to the same place. So we're going to go left, and here we have the Metro Centre. This is the first of 2 train stations. And this is where it gets confusing. There are 2 different train stations depending on where you want to go. I'm going to take you into here because I can show you the map. Now, when you first look at the map, it might be a little bit confusing. But if you look at the very top centre of the map, we have come out of the L19 Residence. And then if you follow this, let me see if I can, here we go. So if you follow this down here, this is where we came out, and we just did a circle running around this area here. That's what we just did. We just did a big circle, we run around here, come back to here. Now, we are now here, and as you can see, if we go in here, we're going to be faced with 3 different directions. Either a left, a straight on, or a right. Left will take us to the Spaceport, straight on will take us to the city gates, and also right will take us to the city gates. If we wanted to go to the CBD, which is the Central Business District, we would have to run all the way back through to the other train station. Okay, there's 2 stations, Metro Centre and Leviston Station. So if we went to the Spaceport, we could then go from the Spaceport to the Central Business District. Possible, but the idea, and you'll see this a bit later, is yeah, it's a little bit confusing, so just bear that in mind, please. So let's just do this whilst we are here. If we come down to the Metro Centre, follow it around to the right, this is the hospital here, and then we have our 3 directions. We mentioned we can go left, that will take us to the Spaceport line. Okay, left. If we went right, it would take us to the perimeter line, and then there are 2 options. There is left to go to gate 1, 2, 3, and straight on there to go to gates 4 or 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the reason you would go to the city gates is you can summon ground vehicles. I'm not going to take you down there. You can just trust me on that one. But if you were going to go down to the Spaceport, you would simply just come down here, follow it around as if you were going through security, and here you are. Now I'm going to show you this second map so you can see here. We are in right now. Okay, we are in the Metro Centre. Now the Metro Centre allows us to go to gates 4, 5 and 6, which is the yellow gates, or 1, 2 and 3, which are the red gates. We can also from here go to the Spaceport. From the Spaceport we can go, if we wanted, to Central Station, which is the CBD. Or from Metro Centre we could also walk across to Leviston Station and take that back to the CBD. So the only things you really need to worry about here, you don't really need the perimeter lines. I wouldn't worry about those. And you don't actually really need Leviston Station. So I wouldn't worry about that either, to be honest. The only thing I would worry about is you want to go from the Spaceport to the Metro Centre, which is where you go shopping, or you want to go from the Spaceport to the Central Station, which is where you will go to the Business District. In the Business District, there are 2 buildings. There is a shop, and there is the TDD, the trading, if you are trading. So there is one shop, and there is the trading. That's all you need to do when you're there. Okay? Spaceport, obviously, where you'll get your ships, and then the Metro Centre, where we are now. And so that's it. The rest of it, everything else, is just a distraction, and I wouldn't worry about it too much. But let's just go back. Okay, I want to show you around here because I want you to understand this first. We're going to come out of this station. Okay, coming all the way back out here. And the signs are pretty good. As you can see, there's a few things here. We've got the L19 Residence. We've got Leviston Station, which we know takes us to the CBD. We've got M&V's Bar, which is McIntyre and Victoria's Bar, Victor's Bar, which, honestly, there's nothing you need to do in there. You can ignore that. There's Maria Pure of Heart, which is the Med Centre. Reclamation and Disposal, which you can't use right now, actually, which is a shame. And Tappy and Sons, so which is clothing. So let's come back out to where we was. Okay, looking at this map, so we remember We've just come out of that space station. So hopefully the right-hand side here, this is gates 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3, and the spaceport. Remember where we was in here? We've just come back out. We're now here. So if we come back out now to here, which is where we started, which is the L9 residence. Okay, we're going to go and do that right now. So to do that, we come out here. Follow this round to the right. It says L19 Residence. Okay, follow this to here. And this was where we started, remember? Very easy to get to here. So this time, what we're going to do, slightly different, is we're going to go to the right. And if we go to the right and come out here and look right, you will see the admin office. This is the admin office where you can go and trade your commodities. Commodity screens, and also you can pay your fines in there as well. Seems to be a lot of places to pay fines. Okay, so that was from coming out of there, which was the L19 residence. Now if we come up here, this is the metro center that we was in. Left here is back to the L19 residence. So you can now understand that very simple loop from the L19 residence to the metro center, turning around and looking down there is where the admin office is. Security you can ignore, and also I'll show you this, but you can ignore it. Coming down to another area. Okay, so you've got your admin office and you've got all of this here. There is also another area. Okay, so the other area, we'll talk about it in a second, but you can ignore the other area because, again, it's just a big, big distraction. But that's it for here, okay? Now, if we go into the metro center, on the right-hand side, as we go in, this is the hospital. So this is one of the exits of the hospital, okay? Which takes you to the metro center. Okay, if we come down into the hospital, here is your pharmacy. Okay, so we come in through here. There is your pharmacy. And it's a nice place, by the way, this. It's a lovely place. You have your main area here. This is where you can patient check in if you need to. They will give you a room that you will need to visit. Okay, so floor 1, room 12, which means we would then take the elevators, which are here. That would take us up to floor 1, room 12. Insurance in here. Again, very clean, very nice and easy. The terminals are here. You can go and you can change your regeneration to this point if you want to. Restrooms there, we're not going to use those. Medical wards, we're not going to worry about using those. Okay, so that's kind of everything that you need at the moment. All right? Perfect. Now, there are two ways in and out of here. There's the first one, which we took, which was up there by the residence. And the other way is through here. This will also here take you outside. We're now in Levison Square. Okay? Levison Square, which is here. So if you look at this, here it is. This is the hospital. And if I come out of here, back round to this corner, so we get up these stairs, you'll recognize there is the metro center. So that is where we started. So there's the L19 residence where we started. This was the metro line. And if I come down these stairs on the right hand side, you're going to see that was where we just went in. So that was one entrance to the medical center. Coming back out with the L19 residence there. We know if we come down here, we've got the admin building directly in front of us. Okay. And then we've got this way that we can go down here. So if we go down these stairs here. Okay. Follow it round. And now we're in the square. And there is the medical center. Okay. Nice and easy. Nice and simple. Okay. Let me just go back. Now we know where the square is. Okay. And this time I'm going to go over to the admin office. And if you remember, if you were paying attention, there is another way through here. So come down these stairs. Down here. And this is the square again. There's the medical center. So you can see there's two ways to this square. There's this side here and this side here. It takes you to the same place. It feels confusing But it's really not. It's very, very simple. If you think you've got the residence area with the Spaceport metro, then you've got the square, which has got the hospital. Okay, everything else is just a distraction at this stage. So nothing you really need to worry about. Now, there is something I want to show you. And that is if you come back to where we was, by the metro centre, and we go down these stairs as if we're going towards the square. But instead, if we turn around here, this is the production quad, FD19. It's the workers district. Now, you never have to come down here. There's nothing to do here. But what this will do is it will take you in a very nice, distracting journey all the way through. And you can come and check this out and explore it. But this is just like a bit of underground. You know, you're kind of in here. You can't go anywhere there. Lots of guards. It's meant to be a working area. A lot of distractions. And it brings you up these stairs. Up at these stairs is going to bring us back here. So, this, which is the production quad there, okay, brings us out in this area here. Okay, this is where the other metro station is. Okay, this is the other metro station. So, we talked about this. You can go either way here, left or right, it does not matter. If we go through this, this will take us to the central business district. You can run through here, and there we go, to the central business district, okay? You can look out here if you want, not really much to see, but you can get the idea. That's the central business district over there. All right, and then that is simply just going to take you down to it. So, coming back through, coming back out of here. Okay. And we get to here. Now, that is the bar that I told you about, M&V's. You can come in this way, and you can go out the other side. There's a way in and a way out. The production quad, you never have to go down here. Again, I told you, you don't need to go down there. And the only other thing you can do here is go through this, which takes you back to the square. Okay, so we're going to go this way. Now, you've got the through here, square, and we're back at the hospital. Okay, so now you're back at the hospital. So if you remember, that's the hospital. That way takes you up to the residence, okay? This way also does the same thing. Takes you up to the residence, okay? And if we turn to the right and go up these stairs, this is where the admin office was. Remember where we saw the admin office here? And that takes you down to the metro line, which you can see in the distance. Okay, and then there's the L19 Residence. So you kind of get the idea that it's not that big. It feels a lot bigger than it is. So can be very overwhelming, but it takes a little bit of time to run around here. And once you do it and it clicks and you're like, oh yeah, I get it now. It makes sense. Again, you do not need to go to the production quad. You don't need to go down there. It's confusing. This is just kind of like a an open area here where you've got this other train station. If we go to M&V quickly and I show you this. Alright, this is just a bar area where we can go inside to this bar area. That's the bar there. If we don't go in the bar and we turn here, come through this door, and we're back at the square. So if you remember at the square, the M&V bar is also here. So there's two ways into that. Also, there's nothing here. This is the reclamation disposal. I think this is meant to be a ship parts. The problem is at the moment, and you might be different, I can't get in there. I've not been able to get in there because the NPC is simply blocking the way and won't let me in. So, yeah. I don't know what's in there. I don't know what it's meant to be. Looks like it's kind of ship parts and things like that. I don't know. But anyway. Looks like a dumper's depot, but it doesn't work for me. I can't get in there. So let's go back. So as you can see, there's nothing to do down there at the moment. So you don't even need to come down here. The only thing you would do here in the square is go to the hospital. So the only thing we have to think about building-wise right now, the only thing we have to think about building-wise, I'm going to go back to the map so we can look at the map. It should make a bit more sense. Now, The more you go through it, the more you see it, the more it makes sense. So we go back to the metro centre, back to where we started. Okay, let's look at this map. So we come out of the residence, we turned left, we had the metro station where we had the spaceport, or we had the perimeter line. We also know where the central booking is. We know that if we come through this gap here, this is where the hospital is. The only thing in the square to worry about is the hospital. M&V bar is irrelevant, and also reclamation and disposal at the moment is irrelevant. So right now, the only things to worry about is the spaceport, the admin office, the residence, and the hospital. That's it. Obviously, you've got Leviston Station as well. So the last building to take you to is Tammy and Sons, and then that's it. We've done everything we need to do there, and then we're going to go out to the CBD. Okay? So hopefully that helped. Again, bit confusing. This was one of the harder locations to learn because it kind of feels like you can get lost here quite easily. But once you understand that a lot of it is just noise and that you can ignore it, it becomes a lot easier to be able to navigate. So we know that's the square. We don't want to go to the square. We want to come to here. On the right hand side, this is Tammy and Sons. So again, there's a lot of distraction. You can come down here. You can look around. Not really much you can do down here. We only want to look at this building here, which we can go inside. And then on the left-hand side as you come in are your terminals. So Tammy and Sons, and this is where you're going to be able to buy any utility items that you need. And there's some stuff that they sell in here, mining heads, good things like that. Some clothing, if you want to buy clothing, you can do that. Armor, undersuits, personal weapons, and also for miscellaneous, you can get your crux. Drink here, very, very good drink to be able to get, and your med pens as well. So definitely good to click on this, click buy, stock up, buy 10 of them. It's just an easy way to have a constant supply of food and drink, and you don't have to worry about buying them one at a time. Okay, so now that's done, we're going to come back up here, as I mentioned, and we're going to go to the central line. Now remember, this one takes us to the business district. And that's where we currently want to go. So after showing you this, I'm now going to show you the business district. So we're going to take the train. Only one way to go here. Perfect. And the train's in, so this is fantastic. We can jump straight on a train. 10 seconds to go. Before it goes, you can see we're going to go from the metro centre. We're at Leviston Station. We're going to jump on. We don't want to miss it. So we're at Leviston Station. Remember, we had to walk from the metro centre. We had to walk across here to Leviston Station. So the only way this goes is back to the central business district, which you'll be able to see.
Next stop, Central Station.
And then from there, we'll be able to go to the spaceport. So the business district goes, there's two lines. There's one to the spaceport and one back to where we've just been. And so you'll get the idea of the industrial side of things that you've just seen. What we're now going to do is we're going to see, and you can start to see this now, a lot of gold trim, black and gold, big, big statues, very, very affluent feeling, a lot of money in this area, in the business district, as opposed to the workers district, which is very gritty and industrial. This feels very, very different, and you kind of get this idea as you look out, as you've come from where you've just come from, and you look around here, you kind of get the feeling and the scale and just the grand size of this building. Everything from the decor, you can see it's all very, very much, so you understand. And as you come here, this is the Central Business District, the CBD. As you come inside, and there's a little way to run, you're going to be able to go two ways, left or right. In fact, just while we're here for the purpose of this video, I do apologise, but we're just going to have a drink. Just realised that we're running out. Okay. One thing that you might want to do here, just given the fact that this is such an affluent area, and you'll notice as you walked in these statues. Obviously, this is a very wealthy area. And so it's recommended that you do not, and I can't urge you this enough, that you do not drop your drinks. Instead, if you do have an empty drink, you should place it. There is nowhere better to place it than on here. See if you can do it. You might be better than me. But yeah, you should definitely not drop it on the floor. Okay. Just going to put my helmet back on, because if I don't do that, well, I'll die when I go outside. Okay. Let's go back inside, up these steps. As you can see, you kind of get the idea of this. There are two ways to go here. So we come up into the Memorial Hall, and you can just see this here. There's transfers to the left, and there is the showcase to the right. So if we were to go to the left to transfers, this is the TDD. This is the trading terminals. So we'll run around here. There's some writing on the wall. We'll come into here and you'll see this area. Either way, left or right, you'll come up to here, and these are the terminals that you'll be able to use. Okay, so this being the TDD, there's nothing else you need to do in here. You can look around if you want to. You're welcome to do that, but there's nothing else in there. That is just where you will come to trade, the TDD. Also, you'll see the armor of the guards here. Very sought after armor. A lot of people like this. There is a way you can get this in the game. You have to go and farm it on the planet, but there are ways to acquire that armor if you would like it. Okay, so coming outside, and again, to the left, there's nothing else really here that you need to do. Just come and have a look if you want to, but nothing really to worry about. The only other thing that you can do here is the showcase. So inside the showcase, the same thing as before. You'll come around this central column, into the room, onto the right hand side, and here are your terminals. So here you can use these terminals, and this is where you're going to buy vehicle weapons. Okay, so if you need to buy any vehicle weapons, this is where you're going to be able to do it. There's only some things that you can buy here, but if you want to get them here, this is where you'll get them. So some things that you'll want to get, you can only get them from here. This is where you'll get them. You can look around if you want to. But for now, we're going to head outside. So we've covered the workers district, we've covered the business district. Now we need to go to the spaceport. So we're going to come out, turn left, go down to transit. And if you remember, there are two ways that you can travel here. You can either go left or right at this point. Excuse me. Left is going to take us, as you can see here, to the spaceport. And right is going to take us to the Leveston Station. Leveston Station is to the right, which is where we just come from. We want to go here to the spaceport, so we're going to go left. And so, again, you get the idea. You can see the kind of the difference between the workers and the business district. Okay, let's head up to the spaceport, and like in all of the other videos, we will grab a ship and we'll head out. Now, the only place I've not taken you to is the perimeter line, but it's very, very self-explanatory. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to take you there, but if you wanted to go to that perimeter line, you could. You just go there, there's some terminals, and you can summon the ground vehicles, and then as you can see, your vehicle will be outside. So it's there. What we'll do is we'll fly up, and then when we fly down, I'll take you in through the other way. So you can see it, but through the other way at the end of this video, okay? We'll go in, and that's why I've got the vehicle out already, so that we can see it. That's why it's there. But I wanted to try and save some time. So you can see it takes a little bit of time to get here. It's also getting quite dark now. But dark's good. So here we go. We're at TISA Spaceport. Okay, same as before. We're going to come out. Going to go through customs. That's the other way if I wanted to go back the other way. We're going to go to the customs area. Out through customs. Follow this round. Okay. So, now we're out. Again, you can pay your fines there if you need to. And we're now out back into the main spaceport. So from here, you'll see where the ship is. From here, you'll see the terminals. This is where you can summon your ships from. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to... Oh.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
We're going to use this, so we're going to just retrieve this one.
Your vehicle has been
Perfect.
to the following location.
Okay, there's a new deal here, so this is a really good place to come. New deal if you need to buy ships. Good selection of ships here. You'll just run through. And you can run through there and look at some ships. You can have a look around if you need to. Or you can just come inside to the terminal, which is right here. Click on a terminal and you can see all of the ships that are available. So, new deal. Coming out, and it doesn't matter if you go left or right, it's the same thing. Brings us back out to the main area. Again, where the terminals are. Okay. So down here, we know this is the mass transport, which we just was at. This is the terminals. From here, we can come down to this area here. There is more elevators there to hangars on the left and on the right. Okay, so that's all we need. That's all there really is to do here. All you need to worry about. Everything else is just a distraction. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to go and jump into the elevators. Call the elevator. And we wanted hangar 9. There are lots of hangars here. When you land, it's a mixture of drop down or fly in. In this instance, it's a drop down. Okay, so we enter our ship. And just before we do take off,
Your systems are online.
it's not even going to let me refuel. That's fine. We don't need to.
Launch complete.
All right, so we're going to take off. Hopefully they let us.
You are clear to launch.
Thank you. Just got to wait for the door to open. Perfect. All right. So now we're out. We're just going to head straight up. Now I want to get up to a certain height so that you can see. And we'll come back down again. So... Okay, just a little bit higher so that you can get a decent understanding. Okay, so we're outside the armistice zone now. Let's just turn back around and have a look down, shall we? If we don't black out. Okay, so looking around, when you come to the area, it's going to look like this. And if we were to fly away a little bit, going to head over this way. Depending on which side and which way you come in, you're going to have different options. But what we're really looking for here, and let me just go inside so I can show you this. What we're really looking for here is we're looking around and trying to figure out where to go, because that's the difficulty with this, is we are looking for... Move around so you can see this. I feel like I'm still a little bit too close to this. Let's just head out a little bit more. Just going to head up a little bit further. Okay. So, as we are approaching and looking, we're looking for the very, very center. The very, very center. So, as we're looking in the middle here, this black area here in the middle, I'm just highlighting for you now in the very, very center. This is what we're looking for. And we're not far enough away at the moment, which is why we can't really see it. So we're going to just head over a little bit further out. Kind of need to get a bit of distance to be able to really appreciate this. But as you're coming in, from whatever angle you're coming in. Okay, let's just spin around again. Hopefully we should be able to see it a lot better this time. Okay, yes. So, as we're starting to come in on our approach, what we're looking for is this central area here. And you can kind of see it as well. The area has the spaceport signs. So as we're looking at the top, you can see the big building on the right-hand side. That big building on the right-hand side with the red dots, that is the business district. That's where we just was, the CBD, the Central Business District. In the middle there, is the spaceport. And then I do believe off to the side is the industrial area. So as you come down and you get a bit closer on approach, and you're thinking, where is the spaceport? You can see the blue lights in the very middle there that are flashing. There's 6 of them. You can see 2 lines of 3 just above where my nose is. Those are the signs for the spaceport. So this is what you're looking for. Very, very middle. But you need to make sure that when you come in, you do not get too close to any of the other buildings because you could get impounded. So you want to come directly into the spaceport. This is what you want to do. So as you're coming in, just make sure you're heading into the spaceport here. And again, it is this area here. You can see it by those blue lights and those blue signs. Okay. So we've kind of covered a lot of what we needed to do here. Now what I'm going to do is head over this way, because this is going to be the perimeter fence. Now, take my ship over there. But you kind of get the idea. You can see this. This is the perimeter fence. So if I just fly over. And I'm just going to land here. But there's lots and lots. There's 6 different exits. So there's lots and lots of ways that you can get to these places. But this is what you would do. You would go and get your ship out. Then you would go to the spaceport. And then you would come and you would pick up what it is that you were looking for. So, here, as you can see, just coming down. All of this open area here. All of this open area here that I'm flying above. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to come down. And for the purpose of this, I'm going to land just here. Excellent. Now, let's jump out. Okay. I will probably get blown over because... Looks like the game's bugged out. Okay. Looks like I fell through the floor there, which was not ideal. But basically, what would have happened there if you didn't fall through the floor? And I'm going to get rescued. It's okay because of where I am. Because I'm in Lorville. If I do have a problem, I will get rescued. So I just need to wait for my rescue. And Lorville themselves, they will come and they will rescue me. So I will find myself in the medical facilities. That's fine. So now we're at the Pure Heart. Not ideal, not where we wanted to be. That's a bug. It's unfortunate, but good for you to see it. These things happen. Now at least you know where you would need to go, right? And the good news is now we've got 100% thirst and 100% health, so that's always good. So let's jump up. Alright, that's unfortunate that's happened, but it has, so we're just going to deal with it. Let's chuck on spacesuit and helmet. Alright, and then we're going to come out of the facility, so I can show you this now as well, which is quite good. Not ideal that this happened, but at the same time, I can still show you it. So we'll come along to the elevators here.
In her book, Dynamics of a Mindful Life, Maria Hurston encouraged all patients to repeat
Hold on, wait, no, that's not the elevator, my bad.
to inspire.
Sorry, the elevators are here.
I will be grateful for the care given to me.
Okay, so we'll take the elevator down.
Positive energy rather than on pain. I will put my faith in those responsible for me. I will actively dedicate myself to feeling better.
Okay, back to the lobby. And then from the lobby, you know exactly where we are. We're going to come out outside the L19 residence by the metro station. And that metro station will take us to the perimeter line. So here we go. We're at the entrance here. Remember, there was 2 ways in and out. Remember? So there's the insurance. And there were 2 exits. There was the exit up this way.
Welcome to the Maria Pure of Heart Hospital, a nonprofit
There was exit there and an exit up here. And this exit was into the metro station. Remember? The metro centre. So this, come out and go round to the right hand side. And now we've got the option to go to the perimeter line. Either 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6. We're going to go to perimeter 1. So it goes around in a loop. So we're here at Metro Centre. We can go to gate 1, gate 2, gate 3. Or we can go to gate 3, 2 and 1. Depends what we want. We're going to go this way. Hopefully. Yes, we're in. We're good. So we're going to go to gate 1. So it just goes around in a loop, in a circle. So it will go from here to 1 to 2 to 3 and back again. And we're going to go to gate 1 because that's where we was. And I get to show you it this way. The ideal situation would have been me showing you it the other way. We can actually see where our ship is. We're going around to it there. It might be gate 3 that we need, actually. I don't think it's here because we're 15 kilometers away from it still. I thought it was gate 1 I wanted, but maybe I was wrong. Or maybe I'm right. Okay. Long way to go. Oh, maybe I was right. Maybe it is here. Gate 1. Going to get an idea of the city. It is beautiful. It's recently been revamped and redone, rebuilt. I appreciate this is a longer video than the others, but there is more to consider here. Not necessarily more as in buildings, but just learning this I think is a bit harder. Once you get used to it, very, very simple. But it does take that running around and understanding and for it just to click. Once it clicks, you'll be absolutely fine. Here we are at gate 1. Out on the perimeter. Just make sure if you're here that you do have your helmet on.
Lorville City gates. Please watch your step when disembarking the train. Be considerate to your fellow travelers. Do not block doors.
Okay, so here we are, perimeter gate 1. What's the security? So you'll come out as you normally would. As you come outside, go through customs. You can go either way, it does not matter. Through the customs area, and this is where you will, the fleet manager for the ground vehicles. So this is where you'll pull out your ground vehicles. And from here, garages 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to come out here. Oh, I've fallen over, but this is actually where my ship is. Although it looks like... Huh. Interestingly, it looks like my ship disappeared. But that is where my ship was. So I can see my ship has disappeared, but this is where I just landed. I landed there and I bugged out and went through the floor. But what I was trying to do is show you this space. And this is where you'll be able to get your ground vehicle. You'll be able to put it onto your ship. So from here, you'll be able to drive it out. And you'll be able to drive it down to here and load it into your ship. So you can put your ship here. You can load it in. And you've got all of this space to play with. And this is gate 1, the perimeter gate. So as I said, there's 6 of these. Go to whichever one you need to. And that's it. That's everything you need to know. We've covered everything. So just to recap, we've done the workers district where we started. The buildings that were there. We did the central business district. So you got to see what was there. Remember, that's where you'll go for the TDD. So the only real reason you'll go there is for trading. So if you come in, you'll go to the CBD and then the TDD. Or if you want to go shopping, you'll go across to the workers district and then you've got the spaceport. Honestly, you probably don't want to come here to get ground vehicles. I mean, you might need to, and that's fine, but it's a bit of a mission. It's quite a lot of work to do. But that's it. That's everything you need to worry about with regards to Lorville. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.